Hello friends, how are you? So let us start our new topic called key steps typically involved in conducting an ESG maturity assessment. In this, we say the maturity assessment process involves a systematic approach to evaluate an organization's current level of integration and performance across all ESG dimensions. Now, here are certain key steps typically involved in conducting the ESG maturity assessment. First one is define objectives and scope. In this, we can say the objective will be like clarifying the purpose of assessment, such as benchmarking against industry standards, identifying the improvement opportunities, or enhancing the stakeholder engagement. And then, what can be the scope? The scope will be defining the boundaries of assessment, including organizational unit, geographical locations, and specific ESG criteria. So, in first one, we discuss about objectives and scope. Then next step is selecting the assessment framework. Now, we need to choose a recognized ESG framework or model that aligns with organizational goals and industry standards such as GRI, Global Reporting Initiative, Sustainability Accounting Standards Board, SASB, Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosure, TCFD, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. Then third one is develop assessment criteria and indicators. Now the criteria can be defining specific criteria for assessing ESG maturity based on selected framework and organizational priorities. Indicators, we need to identify key performance indicators for each ESG dimension to measure the maturity levels. To measure maturity levels, we need to identify KPIs. The next one is data collection and analysis. Internal data, external data. We need to gather quantitative, qualitative data from various sources such as financial reports, sustainability reports, employee surveys, operational record. That will be for internal data. Then we can say external benchmarking. We compare performance matrices against industry peers, best practices, regulatory requirements to identify gaps and areas for improvement. And also we engage with key stakeholders to understand what are their expectations, and also we gather the input or the data on ESG performance from all the stakeholders. The next one is assessment methodology. We have a scoring system. We need to develop the scoring system or maturity model with defined levels like initial, developing, advanced, or leading to categorize ESG maturity. Then rating criteria. We need to establish rating criteria for maturity levels based on the performance against KPIs and also with compliance with standards and stakeholder alignment also. Then we go for gap analysis and findings. In this gap analysis and finding, we say gap identification. We analyze the assessment findings to identify strengths, weaknesses, gaps, improvement opportunities across ESG dimensions. Also, we go for root cause analysis. We determine the underlying factors contributing to gaps in ESG integration and performance. The next is reporting and communication. We report the maturity assessment. We prepare a comprehensive report summarizing assessment results, including findings, analysis, and recommendations. The recommendations, we provide actionable items, the recommendations for enhancing ESG maturity, prioritizing ESG initiatives, and setting realistic goals. The next is integration and action planning. In the action plan, we develop a detailed action plan with specific initiatives, timelines, responsibilities, resource allocations to address identified gaps and implement those recommendations. Then integration of ESG goals and initiatives with the overall corporate business strategy, governance frameworks, and risk management practices. The next is monitoring and review. We track the implementations, we monitor the progress against the action plan, regularly reviewing, adjusting strategies as needed. Performance evaluation, we establish mechanism for ongoing monitoring and evaluation of ESG performance, maturity levels, and stakeholder engagements. Also, continuous improvement. We foster a culture or drive a culture of continuous improvement by incorporating feedbacks, lesson learns, and emerging ESG trends into future assessments and strategies. What can be the benefits of the ESG maturity assessment? The benefits are enhanced transparency. We demonstrate transparency and accountability in ESG performance to stakeholders. We go for better identification and mitigation of ESG risks. We reduce potential financial, operational, and reputational impacts. We have better stakeholder engagement. We engage stakeholders effectively by addressing their expectations and concerns. And sustainable growth. We promote sustainable business practices and resilience in changing global landscape. So by following these steps, organizations can systematically assess, improve, and communicate their ESG maturity, ultimately driving the long-term value creation and competitiveness while contributing positively to all the sustainable development goals. Thank you very much, friends. Let us start the new topic now.